Welcome back. A couple rules that I didn't have time for in the first video included when a number is raised to the 0 power, it will always be equal to 1. So it doesn't matter whether I have 15 raised to the 0 or whether it's 10,000 raised to the 0. It's always going to equal 1, okay? This is just a special rule. Might as well memorize it because it's always going to be the same, okay? Just as a point of interest, you may see it written with a little arrow like that. Okay, so if someone's typing on the computer and they don't know how to make the exponent small, they may use the up arrow and then the number. Okay, that means raised to the power, just in case you see that notation. The next rule we have to go over is when we have exponents. So we had talked about before when we multiplied numbers. Here, we're raising an exponent to another exponent. So in this case, we're actually going to multiply our two exponents together. So we're saying to ourselves, what is 2 times 3? Keep the base of 5 the same, but we're going to multiply exponents. Multiply exponents. Okay, so 2 times 3 is 6, so you should have 5 to the 6th power. This is a case where go ahead, use your calculator, enter 5, yx means raised to the 6th, or raised to any power, and then you'd hit 6 for what power it's raised to, and you get 15,625. Okay, now, we learned in the previous video that when we multiply numbers, we add their exponents. So here, if we divide numbers, what do you think the opposite of adding their exponents would be? We should be subtracting, okay? So keep the base of 7 the same, but you're thinking to yourself, what's 5 minus 3? You're subtracting exponents. So subtract exponents. 5 minus 3 is 2. So 7 squared is the same as saying 7 times 7, which should give you 49. All right, and then this one is a review of what we already did in the previous video. When we are multiplying, you can show multiplication by using the X that you're used to seeing, or once again, I know that we've seen this dot, but we don't use it too often, so just remember that that dot can mean multiplication. So when we multiply our bases, what we're doing with our exponents is we're actually adding the exponents together. So the base stays the same. We'd rewrite this as 2 to the 5th power. In order to evaluate that means solve. Go ahead, hit 2, y to the x, 5, and you'll get 32. And if you think about it, that would be the same as 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 again is 32, okay? So it still makes sense. So those